Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badharayanam Sutrabhashya Kritav Vande Bhagavantav Punah Punah Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadguram Brahmavidvaram Sadguram Brahmavidvaram Om Partaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Kreditam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamrutavarshiniim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatvam Anusandadhami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshini Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutah Stunvanti Devyaistavaihi Vedai Sangapadakramopaniषदैः Gayanti Yam Samagah Dhyanavastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yasyantam na Vidusuram Suraganah Devaya Tasmai Namaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha Hari. We are in the Sthita Prajna Lakshana portion of the second chapter of the Gita, the last set of verses, 18 verses, wherein the characteristics of a realized master is spoken about. And after discussing those characteristics, Bhagavan has taken up the topic of, within that only, what spiritual disciplines a seeker must follow so that he can get to be the Sthita Prajna. So that is the subtopic we are in. And in that, we had discussed the sensory discipline, how one must have, the seeker must have control over his sense organs. Beautiful example was also given of the tortoise which pulls all its limbs when there is a threat. In the same way, as we go about transacting in this world, we should be able to withdraw the senses whenever there is a threat to our spiritual journey. Now, Bhagavan has started talking about the thought discipline.
One is controlling the sense organs, but then the control of the mind. More specifically, the thoughts. Thoughts make up the mind. And in the last class, we saw the disastrous results of thought indiscipline. Dhyayato vishayan pumsah sankasteshu pajayate sangat sanjayate kamah kamat krodho vijayate. The mind that starts dwelling upon sense objects, brooding over sense objects, that is called Vishaya Dhyana. That Vishaya Dhyana leads to attachment to those objects. A strong desire to possess those objects. And when the desire gets obstructed, the same desire is converted to anger. And that anger erupts. And when you are in the grip of anger, what all consequences? Krodhat bhavati sammoha. Sammohat smriti vibramah. Smriti bramshat buddhi nashah. Nashat pranashyati. So when the mind is taken over by anger, rage, that time you lose the power of discrimination. All that we have studied in these Gita classes, Upanishad classes, everything goes out of the window. They are not available that time. Forget all the spiritual teachings. At first, that is a temporary setback. And if you don't take some disciplinary action, that power of discrimination is permanently lost. You are a lost cause, lost case. This is a gone case. The result is total downfall. So this is what Puja Gurudev calls the ladder of fall of a human being. From a man, he has fallen to an animal man, sometimes even worse. So what are the stages of the fall? Number one, brooding over objects. Number two, fancying those objects. Number three, desire, strong desire for those objects. Number four, anger when the desires are not fulfilled. And after anger comes delusion, confusion, temporary loss of discrimination. Then the loss of memory of whatever was learned. And then a permanent loss of discrimination. And finally, destruction, decay, totally perishing. The ladder of fall with 8 rungs. The beginning of this fall is just thinking about objects. And finally, total destruction. Hey Arjuna, so master your mind. Get a grip on your thoughts. So we've seen this so far. Today we continue with verse 64. Ragadveshaviyuktaistu Vishayan Indriyaischaran Atma Vaishyair Vidheyatma Prasadamadi Ragadvesha Viyuktaistu Vishayan Indriyaischaran Atma Vaishyayirvidheyatma Prasadamadi. Tu, on the other hand, meaning we have seen how a aviveki, an ignorant man who lacks discrimination, who lacks sense control, the one who starts with brooding over sense object, how he perishes. We have seen that. On the other hand, a wise man, vidheyatma, this wise man actually enjoys those objects and still he never perishes. It doesn't bring about his destruction as a human being. His mind ever remains pure. He's experiencing those objects. He's enjoying those objects. He lives in the same world as the ignorant man. But he's not lost. See the difference. The ignorant ones destroy themselves just by thinking about the sense objects. Whereas the wise actually are living with that. And still they revel in the highest truth. How is that? That's so Bhagwan comes back to sense control really, once again, to highlight its importance. So he says, Indriyaihi Vishayanschara. May you perceive the same sense objects through the sense organs because you don't have a choice really. You cannot close your sense organs. You cannot shut them off. You have to use it. When I see something, I start thinking about it. So I'm going to close my eyes. When I hear something, that triggers my thought, thinking about it all the time. And there it starts the cascade to my destruction. No, I won't use my eyes like Gandhari. I won't hear a thing. How can you go about living that way? You cannot even cross the road. It's not possible. You have to use your senses to do anything, to do your job. But what is important is raga dvesha viyuktaihi. That the sense organs, raga and dvesha, likes and dislikes, attachment and aversion. Let that not happen. The mind should be so very alert. Your liking or an attachment to an object, that is a result of a wrong thinking, that there is joy in that object. The Ananda, you think it is there. You are superimposing that on that object. That object is what it is. The joy in that object is what you have put on it. Likewise, dislike, a result of misconception that that particular object is going to give me grief. An object doesn't have any of that. So do not allow, never allow such misconceptions to develop. Appreciate a rose. Nice. It looks nice. It smells nice. That's fine. But why should I have to have it in my pocket? Uh-huh. Decorating my coat. Uh-huh. Why should it be? Not only objects, people also. That person, nice person, good company, outgoing person. She's fun to be with. Fine. Whenever opportunity is present, spend time with him or her. But then, I want that person to be with me all the time. And then, I want him or her to do just what I say. I want to control. Why? That's all because of the sense organs association with raga, dvesha, likes and dislikes. So never allow the sense organs to develop such strong likes, strong dislikes. That is an addiction. Let the senses be addiction free. Free the mind. Free the mind of such likes and dislikes. Bring those sense organs under your control. Make them atma vashaihi. Let the senses obey your mind. You be the boss. Your discriminating intellect should be controlling that mind. Here, Atma means the intellect. Vashaihi means under control. Organs function. Let them do whatever they do, but they should be obeying the intellect. You know the bad effects of smoking and alcohol. Once you know that, your mind and intellect should have the power to stop your hands from reaching out for a cigarette or a drink. Your mind should first say no to those things. Then that becomes a life of mastery. So, Atma Vashaihi Vidheyatma means a person of self control, self discipline. Here also, Atma means intellect. This person whose intellect controls his senses and the mind, and not vice versa. The sense organs don't dictate. When you allow the sense organs to move about in the world, to give you an example, let it be like a cautious driver. The driver may speed up, slow down, but there is a difference between a good driver, a sensible driver, a cautious driver, and a rash one, rash driver. A rash driver hits the accelerator without having control over the car, gets in an accident, whereas a cautious driver, he may be driving fast, but at any moment he can put on the brakes, change the course of the vehicle. He can negotiate a turn, but he knows when he makes a turn, he needs to slow down, right speed. Young drivers, when they've just started learning, they don't have those skills. But as you have some experience, very instinctively you will have. The body of yours is like a vehicle. Your sense organs are like the wheels. Your mind is the steering. Remember? You've heard this somewhere. Yes. This is an example given in Kathoparishad. Never lose control over the mind. Never lose control over the sense organs. then you will not lose control over the vehicle, the body. If a person is able to lead such a disciplined life, he is a vidheyatma, man of self-control. Such a person, prasadam adhigacchati. He will be able to maintain his cheerfulness. That prasada means cheerfulness. He will have equanimity of mind. He'll be cheerful, pleasant, with no violent disturbances in his mind. The frequency of violent reactions will start becoming lesser and lesser. The intensity of such reactions will also be lesser and lesser. And then, rare occasions when it does happen, he will bounce back quickly. The recovery period will also be short. All those negative reactions may not be eliminated overnight. Manage his emotions. As situations, events, circumstances become unruly, start to unfold into disruption. As things become chaotic, he's able to judge the pulse. Then he will manage to withdraw from such situation. Mind will tell him, hey, this is not good for me, this is not conducive. Cool it. He'll be able to maintain his composure. So Vedantan is very alert in avoiding such situations. Therefore, he gets prasada. This is the real prasada. Peace, cheerfulness, serenity, tranquility. Ever pleasant, ever cheerful. In the midst of all calamities, he will still be. That's what you get. So what's the total meaning of this verse? We have to read the verse with reference to the earlier one. The ignorant man falls, whereas the wise man, the sthita prajna purusha, the man of firm wisdom, who is a vidheyatma, who is what? A man of self-control, actually enjoys the sense objects. With his sense organs, he is actually enjoying them. But that enjoyment is always under his control. It's free from likes and dislikes for those objects. Therefore, he enjoys everything. What is the meaning of raga and dvesha, likes and dislikes? Pujya Gurudev used to give a beautiful example. A simple example that we can all appreciate. Objects by themselves do not bind us. What binds us is our lack of control over the senses and their likes and dislikes, form of attachment and aversion. Let's look at the example he used to give. We can modify this example to the present times. But you can appreciate the idea behind that. Let's say a father, mother, and their child, all three of them, go to the mall to do some shopping. As they're walking around in the mall, there are so many shops. That's what a shopping mall is. So many stores are there. The child sees a toy shop. Let us say Toys R Us. I don't think they are in business. And that's why I said we have to modify this example a little bit. But assuming whatever toy store. Immediately the child gets excited. I want to go into the shop. Okay, that's a lazy Sunday afternoon. Let's go. So they do. As soon as the child goes in, I want this, I want that. Child is so excited. Starts rambling. I played last time. I had a play date. I played this with this toy. I want it. It's so much fun, Daddy. Child is all excited. The parents, they are also in the toy shop. Went in, they're looking at the toys. They are sthita prajna, with reference to the toys. Perfectly free from likes and dislikes. All the senses are under control. The poor child, what is the condition of the child? Totally excited, totally agitated. Keeps on asking, I want this, I want that. The parent might buy one or two. The child keeps asking for more. Father or the mother says no. Immediately the child, temper tantrum. All that happens. Somehow they drag the child out of the toy store. And they continue walk in the mall. Then they see a sign. Sari Palace. Again, I tell you, this example is outdated. I don't know whether you all get excited about saris, but assuming you do. Who is affected? The mother is all excited now. Let's go. This party is coming up. I need a new sari. The father and the child, no effect on them. You get the idea. Then they continue window shopping, browsing the mall. And lo and behold, there is an Apple store. Oh my God. The father runs into the store. I just saw Apple 17. I want to know all about it. I want to talk to the salesman. So many questions. Discussing the pros and cons, performance. What are the new features? How about the other two? The mom and the child. Daddy, let's go. So the objects are the same, and see the reaction of these three individuals. In each case, the difference is because of the likes and dislikes and the resulting attachment to the respective objects. Without such likes and dislikes, you can still enjoy the objects. without the mental agitation. Cheerful. So the one who has no likes and dislikes, he enjoys. And Bhagavan Sri Krishna explains in the next verse the meaning of being raga dvesha rahita, being devoid of likes and dislikes. Bhagavan Bhashyakara's commentary is very important to understand. There is an instruction, Upadesha, to all seekers. He says, enjoy the sense objects, but only those which are not prohibited by the scriptures and those which are absolutely necessary for your life. You work hard, and what you earn by such hard work, you enjoy. Even that, be choosy as to what you really need. When you are hungry, you eat. When you are thirsty, you drink. When you're tired, go take some rest. Do not overeat. Do not drink too much. Do not oversleep. Whatever is necessary. Whatever is needed for sustenance of life, for maintaining this body. You take care of that. You can experience. The wise man's joy is already in the self. We'd already seen that. Atmani eva atmana tushtaha. He's not seeking happiness from the outside world. So whatever objects are there, he uses them without likes and dislikes. He's never deluded. He's ever cheerful. So the wise man with control over his senses, while enjoying the objects of the world, is not disturbed by them. Instead, he is ever cool, cheerful. This is a ladder of rice. Drop those likes and dislikes. Bring the senses under control. Enjoy the objects that are allowed by scriptures. Be happy. Gain that prasannata, cheerfulness. Now, when you get this prasada, it is Atma Prasada, direct experience of the self. For a seeker, it's the purity of mind. The mind is pure. The joy of the self is experience. What happens then? That is said in the next verse 65. Let us read. Prasade sarva dukkhanam. Prasade sarva dukkhanam. Hanirasyopajayate. Hanirasyopajayate. Prasanna chetaso hyashu. Prasanna chetaso hyashu. Buddhih paryavatishtate. Buddhih paryavatishtate. Prasade sarva dukkhanam. Hanirasyopajayate. Prasanna chetaso hyashu. Buddhih paryavatishtate. So Bhagavan points out here, what is the advantage of enjoying the equanimity of mind. Prasada. Prasada in this context means samatvam. Prasanna chittam. Shanti. Poise. Balance or equanimity of mind. That is called prasada here. And Sri Krishna says in this verse, prasada will produce twofold benefits. The first is sarva dukkhanam hanihi. Hanihi, destruction. Sarva dukkha, of all sorrows. All your sorrows will be removed, will be destroyed. That samatvam, equanimity of mind, balance of mind, remove all your sorrows. Samatvam will bring happiness and joy. So here the idea is, we need not bring happiness from the outside world. The outside world does not have any happiness inherently. There's no happiness to give me. The outside world need not give happiness. We ourselves are the source of that joy. See, a dog goes on chewing a bone. And when it does that, you all know what a bone has. Nothing. We say bone dry to describe something that is absolutely dry. But the poor dog goes on chewing the bone. And then, when it does, it is tasting its own blood. That hard bone cuts into its gums, and it starts bleeding, and it tastes its own blood. The poor dog thinks that it is coming from the bone. That continuous chewing hurts the dog only, makes it bloody. But it goes on. This is how, when we enjoy the objects of the world without the proper thinking, the ignorant man thinks there is joy in the world. And even though there is not even an iota of happiness there, keeps on struggling to extract that joy from the objects of the world. So pursuing that happiness that's really not there in the world is hurting himself. Yet he continues all that in ignorance. The dog will never realize that the blood is coming from himself. But luckily for us, Vedanta teaches us that the joy is within ourselves. It's not coming from the outside world. The mental disturbances are blocking our happiness within. Through sense control, through mind control, when all those disturbances are removed, our own Atmananda, the joy, that happiness within, that manifests. So Bhagavan says, prasade sarva dukkhanam hanihi bhavati. All disturbances are gone. Actually, there is peace. This is important. Whenever we listen to satsanga, to Mahatmas, read the scriptures, Vedanta. They go on talking. There is no joy in sense pleasures. There is no joy in sense objects. There is no point in indulgence. There is no joy. There is no joy. Develop vairagya, dispassion, detachment to this world. And we constantly keep hearing this. We feel like saying, I will take you to that next Saturday night party. You can chill out there. Then you will know what joy is. Then the Guru says, calm down. You sit down. You chill out a bit. You think now. You please tell me, what is happiness? This is a big question, and we can talk a lot about it. We'll come straight to the point. You say you are happy. Okay. In the end, have all your sorrows gone? This is an important question. True happiness is that which puts an end to all your sorrows. When light comes, darkness should disappear. Then it is called light. When knowledge comes, ignorance must go. In the same way, any happiness worth its name should put an end to all sorrows. If you have a little happiness, but there is no end to sorrow, then it's not true happiness. What good is a wild Saturday night party? Sunday morning, you wake up with a hangover, a splitting headache. We admit when the senses enjoy sense objects, there is wonderful sensation. Thrill is there, pleasure is there. Nobody denies that. We understand that. But is that true happiness? Or is it just an illusory joy? Is it just a make believe? If it were truly happiness, then there should be end of sorrows. So we ask you, you enjoy, but has your sorrows ended? In fact, as you are enjoying, sorrow is just lurking around the corner. Waiting to pounce on you. Beautiful words that we will see later on in the Gita itself. Dukkha yoni, it's called. It's womb of sorrow. Every joy. So in getting the joy, there is so much of loss of vitality. Money, energy, so many things have happened. Then you just tired. In Kathopanishad it is said, Sarvendriyanam jarayanti teja. All those pleasures only drain all vitality of the senses. You are left hanging high and dry. Where is the end of sorrow? Happiness and peace go together. In happiness, there should be peace. So, yaha sukhe shanti nasti, that happiness where there is no peace. In all those sense pressures, there is no manas shanti. the mind remains agitated. There's no end to sorrow. Can you even call that happiness? So here it is said beautifully, prasade sarva dukkhanam hanihi asya upajayate. In this there is an end to all sorrows. So when this person experiences the happiness, in that ananda, there is purity of self. There is shanti, there is peace. You attain peace. More of this will be said in the next verse. So the point is, the joy does not come from outside, but comes from within the self. This is the first benefit. What is the second benefit? Prasanna chetasaha. This person whose mind is calm, pure, clear, cheerful, and abiding, then he ashu quickly buddhihi paryavatishtate. The self-knowledge becomes well rooted. The knowledge that Paramananda Atma eva aham. I am that Paramananda Atma. That becomes firm, becomes stronger and stronger. It becomes well assimilated. So he says, buddhihi, meaning knowledge, prajna, will be paryavatishtate. It gets converted to sthira prajna or sthita prajna. He becomes established in that knowledge. That knowledge is firm. Then that knowledge becomes available to you during your day-to-day life. When problems come, this knowledge is there, and you're ready to tackle those problems. That is the greatest benefit. So this is how you benefit from this sense control and mind control. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.